So this is a roguelite that I discovered a couple of days ago. Well, weeks now, I think. Time goes fast. It's a rogue like in every sense. It will restart you every time you die, and you have nothing to your name. But it does have some interesting ideas going for it. But first, I'll show you this. Honestly, this isn't much, but I think we're used to that now. Roguelites just don't have a lot of choice in here. I'm okay with that, honestly. I don't think that this game does look better than like most games do in terms of like roguelite standards, but even then, it doesn't really require a special sort of in-deep graphical options or anything like that. It has enough to sort of get you to customize a little. Like you can turn off VSync, which I think is important because some screens just screen tear a lot. There is controller support for this, but I haven't tried it. I don't like playing twin shooters with a controller. Speaking of which, this is a twin shooter. If you probably remember them in arcades if you're old like me. But it's quite an interesting little roguelite in the sense that it has a evolving ship that you play, and as you gain experience and kill and whatever, you'll be able to change the way your ship works. And there's 3 modifications: body, shield, and weapons. All of which interact with modifications differently. So if you have a flak cannon, for example, it will behave more differently than a pulse cannon, both of which will have modifications that benefit them more or less. So let's do a game start here. Now, Endless is what I prefer playing. There's practice if you don't feel that you don't good at the game. Now there are some modifications here. I've put some on because I wouldn't say I'm good, but I'm okay. I'm not like great or anything. So here I am, and this is the game. You fly around, and it works sort of like you expect. You aim with your mouse, like this, and you beam around with W. And yeah, then you dodge stuff. That's the game. So when you level up, oh shit. When you level up, you get to pick different things. So here's giving me a weapon. So Vortex, I could go for Blade. That one's cool. So I can re-roll. I have 9 re-rolls this entire game. So I think I'm gonna re-roll weapons because they're quite important to get right. Now I like Salvo, which most people I don't think like, but that's okay. So the way Salvo works is that it will shoot sort of missiles that home in on enemies, which I think is kind of good. The longer you wait, the more that ticks up. So if you look at the bottom, you'll see how many salvos are currently being reloaded. So if I'm good, I'll be able to sort of time this properly. Now, enemies won't stay in the battlefield indefinitely. Some do, but most don't. What that ends up meaning is you're gonna have to kill them quickly if you want the experience. Which can be counterintuitive for a weapon like this, but we'll make it work. I think the big thing about this game is how everything interacts. So, if I level up now, I'm gonna have to pick a shield. So, shields are weird. So, you could read all this. So energy orbs release when they touch targets, so ramming is cool. Basically, this burns enemies. Which, I mean, that's fine. I think my favorite... don't think it's in here. Bastion is okay. Not sure what to pick here, actually. Do one more reroll. Yeah, pick Orbital. Orbital can be good, because again, some enemies like to ram you. Can save your life. I'm gonna go for that. There's quite different ways to play. You can play with mines, turrets, even minions if you like. Alright, good. Here we go. Here's the body we get to pick. So, engineer is construct. So that's like big ships. What I want, if possible, is carrier. That's what I like to play with, and that is exactly what you think it is. So you'll get minions that spawn out and help you. I've got one on there already. Alright, taking some damage. That's okay. Alright. Alright. So here we are with the actual game. So the first 3 levels, you pick this stuff, right? And you can always change this if you feel to evolve, like you don't feel that what you're doing is very good. So I'm gonna pick an ally. Ally basically means I have a bigger ship that follows me around. And it will do quite a lot of damage. So we're going like a minion focused build. Which, if you know me, isn't very strange. I do like my minion builds quite a lot. Now, I find that the best kind of roguelites are the games that sort of repeat the same thing, but sort of change how they function over time. So, a good example would be Binding of Isaac. It has a simple concept. You don't have to think too much. You can just hop in, play, and that's that. Games like this, though, are kind of in the same vein. Like, this is also quite simple. It's not too complicated. I'm gonna lower the volume a little. Kind of weird to do that in middle. Whatever. I don't like it when it's too loud, but it's a bit loud right now. So, all right. So let's see what we. So you see here to the right, you have like layered down sort of. It shows you exactly what you'll get after a while. So if I wanted to, I could get a turret, throw out, deploy that. But I'm gonna go drones because, like I said, I like minions. So this would be one of the choices that you can make. You can make him into a guardian, which I'm not gonna. What do we want? You know what? Let's go, let's make them into damage instead. Alright, so these are like environmental effects that happen. Alright, leveled up. This one's quite good. So again, I get to pick an evolution here. I can kind of change how everything works. Nah. Very careful here. So I was saying that the best kind of roguelites are the ones that sort of stick to a very simple theme and then they perfect it. I think this game does that. Like, it has the very simple sort of aesthetic. You have like a very simple playstyle, but then the way mods interact, and then super mods, which is like a way to evolve them, it sort of changes the way you think the game's gonna play. Burn damage is fine. Kinetic boost is okay. Okay, fine. I think the only critique I have of the game is that it's kind of difficult to tell what mods you already have, so to say. Like, obviously, you can see what mods you have right here, but what I mean is, it's difficult to tell which ones sort of... Because I know I picked assault drones, right? But I have to look an extra time to realize that this is the second sort of phase. But it might not be the phase I want. I might want this, which I don't, but... So this is interesting, but it's not exactly sort of what I want, so I'm not going to pick it. Self-destruct is fine, but I'd rather have shielded constructs. Since we can't have either. I think this is... Yeah, I think that's what we want. Alright. So... You might wonder why I do these videos for games that aren't very complicated, since I like to talk mechanics a lot. The reason is because this game is extremely good. Like, extremely good. And I don't want you guys to miss out on this. Like, Nova Drift is well worth your time. And honestly, it's a game you can pick up whenever. Yeah, it has no complicated controls. It's just simple. It works exactly like you think it will. That's fine, but I think this one's important now. Yikes. So that's the rammers. And they explode. So that's great. Grace Protocol. I think I want this because I want the last sort of choice. But if you wanted to play a completely fast ship with a lot of damage instead of drones, or a ship focusing entirely on construct, you could do that. Construct being that thing there. Alright, advanced engineering. That's what we wanted. There we go. So, another thing I want to talk about is that this game doesn't quite work like other roguelites in the sense that it will let you skip ahead. Like, if you don't want to do this early part of the game, you don't have to. There are like ways to change your playstyle, which I will show when I die, which won't take very long. Maximum hull is probably a good idea then. So, you might be wondering what's going on. I have no stuff around me. So you can change how the drones work. So, interceptor. I think I want this. So he will fire my missiles now. Which can be pretty good. You can get it to be pretty good. There we go. But yeah, this is the entire game, by the way. It doesn't change. This is it. Do we want this? Shielded constructs, what I want. So, I think I'm gonna go for this. It makes me slower, but it's also more comfortable to play, so that's a bonus. Yeah, here we go. Boss time. Now, I don't remember how to fight this boss, so yeah. I think killing these is what you do. I don't remember. By the way, this game is loud. I might have to tweak that after. That's okay. That hurts. So that's where I died. So as you play, you level up. See, I'm level 30, so I played this game quite a bit. So you see, benefit from my regeneration, so that you can sort of make yourself a very cool build. Yeah, this is the entire game. What I want to show though is unlocks. So I played this game for 30 ranks in the game. That's equivalent of about a couple of hours, 10 hours or so. And this is what I've unlocked, right? So you look at these. Oh shit. You look at these and you see that, okay, gear, which is like body, weapon, shield, stuff like that. I still have a long ways to go. You look at these mod trees. I've unlocked them all. But then you have like super mods. And this is a super mod. Haven't unlocked many of them at all. So these are wild mods. And as you can see, some of these are very rare. And these really change the way the game works. That you can really make or break your build with this. And go down here again. And this is like all of these up here. These weapons. I don't think anyone is stronger than anyone else. Like, this carrier is quite weak in terms of damage, but Hullbreaker isn't. Because you have a lot of damage resistance. This one's a rammer, you ram people. Firefly, I'm quite used to playing. And then you have the Archer Tank, which is one of the new ones I got. I think this is for, like, you want less minions, so no carrier, but more sort of utility. But yeah, this is the entire game. And I'm gonna end it here, because there's nothing else I can say. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.